Hey guys, today we'll be showcasing some of battles with Shadow Poliwrath, and these battles were sent to me by our very own community member NK Gaming 33. So thank you for submitting me your battles. And Poliwrath Community Day is just after 5 days, so this will be a much short Poliwrath, but Counter Poliwrath is just 5 days away guys, and this is going to be exciting. So let's look how this Shadow Poliwrath will do with much shot against the opponents in the Open Great League. So moving on to our first battle, not our first battle, it's NK Gaming 33's battle. So he lands into the opponent. That's Yuto Hani 593Z. I hope I read that correctly. And he lands into a beautiful lead Alone Sandslash. This is a perfect counter for Alone Sandslash. They swap into Azumarill, and he's got a good answer against his Azumarill in form of this poison type Drapion. He's using a normal variant for an extra bulk, which makes sense as Poliwrath is not as bulky in the Great League comparing to the Ultra League, and it's a Shadow. So this is going to be another Ice Beam, so he needs to shield. I guess the play here would be go Sludge Bomb or completely farm down, but he goes oh yeah, this makes sense. He goes for a Crunch. This will not KO and he will farm down, so he's got a lot of energy. He's got one Sludge Bomb, more than a Sludge Bomb, and they come in back with Alone Sandslash. He goes straight for Crunch, hoping to debuff them, but yeah, he gets to another Crunch and they have to shield it. This is an OP Pokemon for Great League guys, Drapion. He tried to make a swap there, but yeah, this was a move thrown from the opponent. So they come in with their Trevenant. They had a Trevenant in the back this entire time, and they might think this is an Ice Punch, but they do not shield it. So this is a Galarian Stunfisk against the Trevenant. So what I would like to do is, obviously in this situation you need to go for Rock Slide, but when you find, let's suppose if you're a Galarian Stunfisk in the lead with Trevenant in the lead, just go for the Rock Slides. Yeah, there are situations where you need to go for the Earthquake. For example, if you need like if you can land only one move, then you should go for the Earthquake, but otherwise it's Rock Slides against Trevenant, and he throws it right away. He shields it, which makes sense. He's got an Earthquake loaded and opponent needs to shield this, and Poliwrath has got a Dynamic Punch. This Dynamic Punch will be more than enough, and this is an overkill for the Shadow Alone Sandslash coming out from a Shadow Poliwrath. So you guys saw some Wrath of Poliwrath. This is another fine lead. They swap into Dewgong. Poliwrath will get to Dynamic Punch before they get to an Icy Wind or a Drill Run. So this will obviously get shielded, as this was not debuffed. So they might try to debuff him now with Icy Wind. And as expected, this was an Icy Wind. But even though it's debuffed, it's gonna do a massive damage, I guess, because it's a Shadow Poliwrath. Look at that damage. That was debuff damage. It's a morning time in here, and I'm having some tea. So he goes for Scald. Opponent most likely not to shield. Wow, yeah, that's a good gameplay. He goes for Scald to get some extra much shots, and opponent had Meganium this entire time at the back. And this debuff Dynamic Punch did quite well amount of damage there. So this is going to be Earthquake, I guess. Yep, that was an Earthquake. And he goes for the Earthquake straight. Opponent absolutely needs to shield this. Let's see. Oh, they do not shield this. They let it go. So this game is already over, I guess. They have 2 HP Poliwrath left, and he soaks the damage into these dying Poliwrath. He has a Dark and a Poison type, which is enough for the remaining Pokemons of opponent that are Grass and Ghost. Yeah, this Sludge Bomb would be enough. Boom. They do not shield it because opponent knows it's over already. Moving on to third battle. This is a very good lead. He lands into 3 good leads. Opponent swaps into Frostlass, and he takes his Dark type into his Frostlass. Avalanche would do a big amount of damage. Crunch is coming. Opponent, will they shield it? They do not shield it, and that makes sense. You cannot farm. I guess you cannot farm down with Poison Sting. You know, it's a Ghost type. They go for the Avalanche, and he goes for another Crunch, hoping to KO. Or oh, they actually shield it. Opponent desperately looking for that switch advantage here. Let's see what Prem NK game does. Oh, they actually don't get to the move, and they bring in their Obstagoon back. He goes straight for the Earthquake. This is obviously a cross chop. Oh, they go for the Night Slash. They might be running Obstruct. Yeah, that makes sense. This does a very good amount of damage, and it's a Golbat in the back. So this is not looking quite well. They have Scald, which comes handy in this situation. They will go for Poison Fang most likely. Yeah. This is another. Oh, they don't get to the Scald. Opponent goes for the Poison Fang, and I think now Obstagoon can come in and just counter down, because Galarian Stunfisk defense is now 2 times lowered by 2 Poison Fangs from Golbat. And yeah, so hard luck. It was fine lead, but the matchup against Drapion and Frostlass did it for the opponent, because they hard wanted that switch advantage, and they were successful. Opponent was successful. So this is another fine lead. Scald does massive amount of damage. In Ultra League, Poliwrath needs to land 2 dynamic punches, but the story would be different after the community day that's coming up, where Poliwrath will get counter against a Swampert in Ultra League. Poliwrath is going to win it very easily comparing to before, because Swampert would need to land an Earthquake and Hydro Cannon and some amount of Mud Shots. So they farmed down Poliwrath with Noctowl. They swapped into Noctowl. Actually, I guess they should have swapped it right away, but oh, actually they finished the Swampert. I thought they swapped it. Sorry, I was talking about Ultra League and I missed that Poliwrath finished the opponent's Swampert, and Noctowl farmed down Poliwrath. So they have Registeel at the back. This might be Zap Cannon. Oh, this is actually a Focus Blast. A lot of people actually go for the Zap Cannon first to debuff their attack, but yeah, it's either ways it's fine. And he will reach to his Crunch. Opponent most likely not to shield it, but they shield it anyways. Yeah, so this is looking good, as he's got a lot of health in his Galarian Stunfisk, which can beat both Noctowl and Registeel. He doesn't need to shield here, just load up on energies and go for Rock Slide and Earthquake. He could have gone for a lot of moves there, but yeah, he can still get to it. So this might just be a Sky Attack. No, this is a Shadow Ball. Oh, actually, yeah, right. So Registeel's lock-on are doing like nothing, almost close to nothing, and Registeel is getting off Focus Blast here. They have a shield, and he goes for a Rock Slide. Actually, Rock Slide might, yeah, might not be enough, but a few Mud Shots. 1 Mud Shot and 1 Rock Slide was enough. So good battle, GG's. And this is another battle. Very good lead here against the Galarian Stunfisk. They swap into Swampert, so both the Pokemons are bad against Swampert, Drapion and Galarian Stunfisk. Yeah, so the gameplay here would be tank, might be shield, or soften me and then switch. Yeah, that was a very good catch, but Hydro Cannon is going to do massive. That did 50% of the damage. Oh, and he just couldn't farm down. If he would have farmed that down, it would have been so amazing, but now opponent's ground type aligns here with his poison type. He goes for 2 crunches. Opponent still has 2 shields. So opponent's farms Drapion completely down, and it's Charm, 9 tails. So this is actually a good matchup, but Weather Ball will still do a little bit of good amount of damage, and he needs to get 3 Rock Slides here because opponent's got 2 shields. Let's see, that's Rock Slide number 1, that's Rock Slide number 2, and this Charm you cannot swap into Poliwrath, so this will be a Weather Ball, and opponent might catch a Rock Slide, and they got their Rock Slide into the Galarian Stunfisk. Very good catch from the opponent there. He goes straight to Dynamic Punch from Shadow Poliwrath. This might one-shot it. Oh, actually they had very low, they were very low on health. I think this T's giving me some high, and yeah, they managed to win this game. It was a very good game. GG's. So moving on. Oh, actually that was a 4-1. So Counter Poliwrath is coming up, guys, and this was a Mudshot Poliwrath, which was very good as well. And in my opinion, Counter Poliwrath is gonna be amazing. So yeah, if you guys are interested to send me your battles, just go through the descriptions. The detail will be given there. Yeah, so like and subscribe. Thank you, guys.